Fingers crossed. I think we're live.
You think? You
I
think
think
we're
we're
live?
live. I
Okay.
think. I'm just going to check on our Facebook page because we're using a weird tool. Yes, we
Oh, it
are
says we're
live.
now. I just got a notification saying we're live.
We are definitely live. Is the video feed working?
I don't know.
I think we're live.
Oh, yeah, it is. Yeah.
Oh, just going to move that slightly to there. Okay.
Yeah, we're definitely live. It's working.
Nice. That's good.
Although what's worrying is how good your iPhone camera is in comparison to my MacBook camera.
Yeah. I mean, yours does look a little bit fuzzy on my screen, and I didn't know whether it was because it's like streaming or what. But yeah, actually, it does look better, doesn't it?
It does. Maybe you're just more attractive. Maybe that's what it is. Cheers, Simon. So Simon says we are definitely live.
That's good.
That's good.
To know.
That means the tool works, and hopefully
It does.
you can see our little logo in the top right. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
that'd be pretty good. And wait for it. So we have an agenda, guys, and not only do we have an agenda,
That
but the
sounds a bit
first thing,
sinister.
yeah, we've got an agenda. The first thing on the agenda is, I'm hoping this will show up. Oh, is that going to work? No,
I
that's
can
not
see it on
working.
mine on my phone.
The Aladdin trailer. Is that working?
I don't know. The problem is the live stream is delayed, so I can't see whether it works.
This is the thing. Yeah, it's slightly delayed.
No, it's not. It's not working. I don't think it is. Oh, yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. I just saw it pop up. Yeah.
Oh, apparently we're live in 40-inch, according to Simon.
Whoa.
That's as close as I'm going to get to that.
Yeah, I was going to say it's the first time.
I'd be worried if I was that. Mark says we're live. The logo's working. Josh says we're live. Tony says we're live as well. This is good. This is a
I'm
successful.
starting to think we might
We
be
are
live.
live. This is great. Dan is definitely pretty. Mark says. Wow. Ooh la la.
Drinking from my food and wine mug.
Oh, do you want to see what I've got for this occasion before we get into the Aladdin trailer?
Right. Oh yes, I saw your tweet about that.
Oh, wait.
Dunkin' Donuts, a little bit of America.
It's a Dunkin' Donuts beer, apparently, infused with coffee.
Right.
Let's give it a go.
Dunkin' Donuts don't make beer though, do they?
No, this is officially Dunkin' Donuts beer.
Oh,
this is official.
Like? It strikes me as that wouldn't be very good, but I don't know.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
That tense moment.
Yeah, everyone was like, "Oh God,
what's the verdict going to be?"
So yeah, this is our first live show, and so the way that we wanted to do these is first of all test the tool, which appears to be working great, and secondly, which makes my job a lot easier in post edit if I upload to YouTube. The logo's there.
That's handy.
The little Aladdin trailer is there, and you noticed, everyone, that I've even used the theme park trailer blue on the header. That's the exact.
It's the small touches.
That's the exact RGB as well. So,
professional right there.
I know, right? And I definitely didn't do that at 2 minutes to 10.
You're like, oh bollocks! Let's try.
I was like, shit!
Oh.
There's all these new features that I should have tested in a week.
Ain't got time to test.
No, exactly, and there's no time to test. So, first thing on the agenda, so this is going to be a weekly show, as I cut myself short, where we talk about all of the news and things that's been happening in the world of theme parks across the world, not just Disney parks, theme parks everywhere, but also any relevant kind of news that's happened in and around the industry. So if we've seen a cool or terrible trailer, as that says right there, we thought we'd talk about it. So let's start off with the Aladdin trailer, which, Dan, you just had the pleasure of watching for the first time, just 3 minutes before we recorded.
Yeah, I'd kind of avoided it. I'd seen the pictures. I didn't need to see any more, really, did I? It's
no.
You know, I suppose, should we start at the beginning? You sort of come into the desert, you got the Cave of Wonder, which Cave of Wonder looks really good. Looks great.
The Cave of Wonder looks good.
Jafar looks shit.
He looks a bit of a wuss, doesn't he?
He doesn't sound or look sinister enough.
No, I agree.
You
I
know,
think that's a massive issue.
I'm sure they could have found a much more sinister looking person, like Liam Neeson at the moment. You know, he's.
I don't think Liam Neeson needs to go anywhere near Arabic people, if I'm honest. I don't think that's a good idea.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I think they're safe.
I think that's safe. Yeah, I'm sorry. I am listening. I'm just making sure that we are still going as smoothly as we should be.
Right. What have you done? You broken it?
No, I've not broken it. I've not broken it. It's okay. It's still working. I'm just making sure because I can't see comments coming through. So if any of you are still listening, please just comment so I can see if this tool's still working. But yeah, you were saying we see the desert.
Yeah, Jafar looks a bit shit. What do you think of Aladdin?
I think Aladdin and Jasmine look okay.
Yeah, they don't look too bad. I'm not 100% on Aladdin. Jasmine's alright.
You're a disgrace.
But should we address the elephant in the room? That is
What?
Will Smith.
Oh yeah, sorry. I thought you were talking about what's the monkey's name? Come on.
Abu,
yeah, because he turns into a monkey, elephant, doesn't he?
Oh, I see. Okay, you thought I was literally talking about an elephant. Oh, yeah. That's an easy mistake, I suppose. But yeah, that Will Smith CGI is awful.
It's terrible, isn't it?
It's just awful. It's like
Hello, Luke.
It's like a really bad face swap.
It is, isn't it? It is absolutely terrible.
Do you reckon maybe that's what they did? They cast somebody else, and then they were just like, shit, we need somebody decent, like big name Will Smith. There you go. Let's just face swap him in.
It does look like it looks like the first Captain America where they CGI'd Chris Evans' face onto like a really small thin guy, but like the opposite way around.
The opposite way. They CGI'd Will Smith's face onto a. He's not fat, but he's big boned.
Hench.
Yeah, hench. Okay, there you go.
Hench. To me it doesn't look good. Oh.
No, I don't know if I can watch that for like, I don't know how long the film's going to be, like 90 minutes, 2 hours, something like that.
Too long, I think. Josh, I really hope it's not the final CGI as well, but I have a bad feeling it's going to be.
I think it would be weird if they released a trailer with not the final CGI.
Yeah. Simon says Jasmine is pretty awesome looking, and it's his favourite princess. Mm-hmm. What was that look for? Unbelievable. Our first live show, and Dan is already getting seedy.
What? I think to be fair, we got seedy a few minutes ago. So.
Yeah, that is true. That is very true. You can also tell from this live show just how much of a hard work I am compared to Dan, because look at the bags under my eyes compared to his.
I'm pretty knackered actually. Today has been a stressful day at work. A stressful day. And
now we're here.
Home, so
you were just sitting at home masturbating all day, is what you were saying?
That's what I mean by stressful. Come on.
So basically our view of the Aladdin trailer is that we don't really expect to see very much of the movie at all. It looks poo. Yeah.
Do you think you'll go and see it at the cinema?
No. Well, actually, possibly, but only because of the podcast.
Oh,
my podcasting duties say that I probably should. But
true.
But that's the only reason that I would go and see it. I think
it's gonna be a hard watch, isn't it?
It certainly is. Yeah. I just don't understand why they didn't just CGI the genie and use Robin Williams. I don't get it.
Yeah, I don't know if they have trouble with that because they didn't get along well, did they, Disney and Robin Williams in the end?
No, exactly. Tony says didn't mind the live action. No, exactly. I didn't mind the live action remake of Beauty and the Beast or The Jungle Book, but Aladdin looks awful. It's not uncommon for unfinished CGI to be used in trailers. Check out the first Infinity War trailer, Green Hulk on Wakanda, not Hulkbuster suit. Yeah, that's very, very good point, Tony. And I think after fans' reactions of this trailer, I think Disney may be diverting some CGI experts onto this after they finish tweaking Captain Marvel and Endgame.
Quickly, just bring on like loads of CGI people.
I think so. Yeah, I think so. So that's Aladdin. We are done on Aladdin. Look, I can tick this off. Hopefully that disappears. It's still there. So let's move on to
It's
the.
delayed. It's delayed. It's fine.
Oh, okay.
Maybe.
Let's move on to the next thing, which is Frozen 2.
Oh.
Did that work?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I see it on my phone, so who knows?
Oh, this is looking great. This is working an absolute treat. There is no post editing needed. I'm gonna get. Don't worry, guys. This is obviously a first test, so I will be getting a better camera because it looks like I'm currently like vaping in my room. Don't vape.
Ryan's a chain smoker.
The flat could be on fire for all I know, but
but it's okay because the internet's still working. So
internet's still working. I can't hear. I've got these headphones on that block out any sound, so
you won't be able to hear the screams of people in the building. It's fine. Just keep going.
Don't feel any warmer.
No.
So that's always a good sign.
Yeah, just touch the floor every now and then.
Just to make sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, Frozen 2. I think we both watched that when it first came out, right?
Yeah.
And I actually thought this was a pretty good trailer.
Yeah, I thought they kind of teased quite a lot, didn't they? Without giving away too much. But you got to see a few little nuggets. You get to see all the reindeer. Or as some people said, the multiple Svens.
Yes, everyone was going, oh, look at all the Svens. No, they're reindeer. There's only one Sven. Yeah, Luke, I definitely need some lighting in my face. This is the only light I've got. Like, there's a massive light right here. Maybe if I tilt my MacBook. No, that's not helping.
No, you need it in front of you.
That's not helping. We'll find a solution to it. Yeah, Simon, I think exactly right. Great teaser trailer. Tells you nothing, and that's how it should be. Exactly. Yeah. That is a good sign of a good teaser trailer. Thanks, Luke. He says I'm beautiful, so that's why I need some light on my face.
You shouldn't lie, Luke.
I promise by next week maybe I'll get more sleep and try and remove some of those suitcases.
It's not going to happen.
No, it's not. I don't sleep. I don't sleep at all. Yeah, so I think it looked really cool. There was an interesting podcast I was listening to, and I forgot the name of it, so forgive me. But it's not anything that I take part in, so I don't really care that much. And he was saying, American, of course, he was saying that a lot of people were getting really annoyed because they were comparing Elsa walking on water like to Jesus. They were saying that Disney was trying to kind of push religious aspects into the Frozen movie.
I don't know why. I mean, if you could freeze water just by touching it, walking on water would be a pretty convenient thing.
Yeah, exactly.
It doesn't have to have a religious element to it. It's just, I'm one side of the lake, I need to get to the other side. I don't want to walk around like a sucker.
Well, right, exactly. I don't understand. I really don't get the religious aspect to it. I suppose no. Jesus walked on water if that's what you're into, but I mean, he didn't freeze the water, did he?
Love that, if that's what you're into.
Well, I'm into Harry Potter. Give me the difference. But moving on. Yeah, I thought the trailer was really cool.
Yeah.
And I'm actually quite excited for this film. Everyone was losing their minds over Elsa having trousers as well.
Everyone was losing their minds about everything about that trailer. Like the two characters. Was it the two characters that they didn't know who they were, and why is it fall and not winter, and why is it so dark and all this sort of shit. It's just they're just teasing.
Just a little tease.
Yeah.
Cheeky little tease. That's all they needed to do, and they did it. And mostly because the Aladdin trailer absolutely bombed, so they decided to release the Frozen trailer probably earlier than they were expecting to.
Possibly.
So that was Frozen.
Was Olaf in the trailer?
Yes, briefly, yeah.
Right, okay. I couldn't remember whether he was or not.
Sadly, they haven't killed him off.
He obviously survived some of them. So.
Yeah, hopefully that he's gone within the first 5 minutes. No, to be fair, I think without him, that movie's not quite as good.
No, it does add something, doesn't it? And can't go too wrong with Josh Gad. Is it
Oh, I
Gad?
love Josh Gad. Yeah, I love Josh Gad. I'm not convinced on his character in Frozen, but there we go. Frozen 2 Army of Reindeer. Yeah, it could be. That's the title. Frozen 2 Army of Reindeer.
The reindeer fight back.
That'd be great, wouldn't it? What's going to happen to...
form some sort of union.
So Josh says he saw a rumour that the villains are giants from the cancelled Gigantic film. Oh, that's going to get a bit poop, isn't it?
What's the Gigantic film?
Yeah, there's a film that Disney were working on that got binned. Because,
okay.
Anything original gets binned at Disney.
It's all about those remakes. It's all about
those remakes and IPs.
Yeah. Screw the nondescript rides.
Yeah, we told any of them. That's interesting, though, Josh. I wonder if that's the case. And the same podcast I was listening to was just like, well, maybe this is the Empire Strikes Back of the Frozen trilogy, and that's why the trailer's so dark. I'm like, stop comparing everything to Star Wars.
That's brilliant.
Maybe this is the beginning of a dark turn for Frozen, and we're going to see like a Return of the Jedi end to the trilogy, if they're even making a trilogy. And it's like, come on. Come on. You're just pulling that out of your bottom.
Oh, man.
Where are you getting that info from?
Yeah, I think because they've given so little away, it's just led to so much speculation, which I'm just like, just wait.
Just wait.
Yeah, just wait. Wait.
And wait.
Yeah.
So that's Frozen 2. Now that's the movie stuff out of the way, which isn't as exciting for us as other bits that we like to do. So let's tick that off. Hopefully I can tick that off and move on to.
I can't remember what we're talking about next. You did say. Epcot. Right. Okay.
Epcot, of course, my favourite park.
Your favourite park, yeah.
Big news this week. Massive news. Oh, sorry, Simon. We just broke the news to Simon that Star Wars isn't real life. What? And he's now said that his life is over.
I mean, we should put like a spoiler or something, or a warning, or...
It's so good to see that Disney made another film from a ride, Frozen Ever After. Yeah, exactly right. That's very true. Lord Luke, the Frozen Ever After attraction is actually based. Sorry, the Frozen franchise is actually based on the Frozen Ever After attraction. You are bang on there.
Yeah. Well, it's just like the Haunted Mansion film that we were talking about.
Oh God! Even I can't even extend the joke to that film. I can't even do it.
It's too offensive.
It is. Eddie Murphy is too offensive. So Epcot, there's massive news announced yesterday. So the first thing is that the entrance is completely changing, and I think this is, for me, as a huge Epcot fan, as all of you will know, this is the most exciting part of the announcement, in that they're getting rid of the graveyard that currently exists at the front of the park with people's weird, degraded faces on. I think we can all agree, even if you've got a picture there, it looks crap now. Like, there's no getting around it. It doesn't look good.
They're a little bit creepy, aren't they? A little bit.
They are. They really, really are. It doesn't look good at all.
It definitely kind of looks like mass gravy, doesn't it?
A mass grave. It's basically that was the morning for the last time that Disney Imagineering had a good idea. About 20 years ago, when franchises weren't such a big thing, I think was the last time.
That's cold, Ryan. That's cold.
And when Bob Iger stepped in, there was a mass suicide on the Imagineering front, and they had to erect those graves to
Erect
pay their
huge,
respects.
huge tombstones to
Well, that took
remember
a
those
dark
they
turn, didn't it?
lost. Yeah, very. Just like the Frozen trailer.
Just like the Frozen trailer. I'm hoping if I do this that everyone's still going to see the stream. Everyone, is the stream still going?
What are you going to do?
I've just switched tabs.
Oh, okay. It says it's
I've not.
live, so.
Sweet, we're going for that. So
But either
the
that or
end.
they're going to go to your Pornhub tab.
I made sure I closed that.
Oh, okay, cool.
I'm not an idiot. Come on. So yeah, the entrance actually looks pretty awesome. So we've got we'll figure out also how to share images and screens and stuff on a later show. Don't worry, we will do that. The entrance is now covered in greenery rather than grey slabs of people's faces that you don't care about on.
Yeah.
And the statue, the mythic Epcot fountain statue, is back in place, and it looks like we've got some old school Epcot logo flags into the mix as well. And I think, to be honest, everyone was losing that absolute shit over the fountain. But I really like the look of the new entrance. I think it looks great. I think it looks kind of not necessarily futuristic, but I think it's like it's like a nice way of presenting the front of that park. And if you look at the original models for Epcot, as in the city, there were some nice like greenery parts to it that I think they may have borrowed from.
Yeah, I mean, you can kind of see it fitting in with like a futuristic city kind of thing. You know, these like pockets of greenery and stuff like that. It does make it, if anything, it does make it look more modern, having all that,
Yeah,
than the tombstones at the moment.
I think so. Yeah, I completely agree. So the entrance, I am completely in love with. I'm less. I care less about the fountain. I know that's what a lot of old school Disney fans really like. But you know, when that statue was there, I think I must have been a little tyke.
Yeah, I don't have any recollection of that statue, although my memory is very poor.
We identified that earlier this evening.
Yes, we did.
You couldn't even remember who Bill and Ted were. Not Bill and Ted. Bill and Ben.
I know Bill and Ben. I just Donna was saying she used to watch the black and white one.
Oh, to be fair, yeah, I don't remember the black and white version.
Yeah, I reckon she's secretly like in her 40s.
You reckon?
She's just been keeping that secret from you.
Well, if that's the case, then she's a lovely 40-year-old.
Yeah, I mean, she looks good for it.
I want to know the secrets.
Yeah. But yes, back to Epcot.
Yeah, so the entrance looks amazing, I think. I'm really looking forward to that. How on earth they're going to funnel guests into that park while they're doing that is beyond me.
I have no idea. I mean, it's going to look a bit of a state when they're building it.
Yeah.
But because presumably they're going to have like the tombstones are quite tall, aren't they? So they have to have reasonably high walls to cover all that.
Well, they're moving the tombstones.
Yeah, they're going to move them, but like when they're taking them down and everything like that, you imagine they're going to have quite high construction walls to cover all that. Maybe, I don't know.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah. I mean, if it was up to me,
be nuts, isn't it, to try and get everyone through that area?
Yeah, if it was up to me, I'd just demolish the lot.
Yeah, we'll just scrap them.
Throw them in a bin.
The thing is, they can't really do that, can they? Because everyone that's paid for them would be up in arms.
Yeah, and I don't remember the exact price, but I don't think they were cheap.
No, I can't imagine they'd be cheap. I mean, this is Disney we're talking about, so.
Well, yeah, this is it.
Yeah.
So
where are they moving them to? They're moving this like further. I think is it outside of the park or is it further towards the actual main entrance kind of thing? I can't read I can't find where it says it. Oh. Lever's Legacy Wall photos will be moving into a beautiful setting just outside the park's gateway.
Yeah, so, like nobody
around the corner.
Let's hope so.
Behind the bins.
Yeah, I hope that's what they do. So the entrance I think looks really cool. Then comes the weird, the weird pavilion that they're building, which is the first, what they're calling the first of its kind play pavilion. I don't understand what's going on here, other than it looks like something from Ralph Breaks the Internet.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? It really does.
There's
And
there's like holographic characters going on with guests looking like they're interacting with them. There's a cinema. There's a hotel. Did you see the hotel?
yeah, I
Like,
saw the sign on the right, which you think it's a bit weird that they put that because does
is
it
it
mean they're
just?
going to put? Is it going to be a hotel or is it just for effect?
I don't know. This is it. I don't know because if there is an actual hotel in there, there wouldn't be that many rooms because that pavilion's
No.
not massive. So I think it's just for effect, like made some of the stuff in Main Street.
Yeah, it just seemed a bit strange that they had that, and it's quite bold to read. That made me wonder whether they would potentially put something in there. But as you say, it would be a quite a small place. Maybe it would be like Cinderella's the one in Cinderella's castle. Possibly. What are you doing?
I was just checking my phone.
Oh,
I appreciate it's quite dodgy.
yeah, like reaching all the way down.
It's like, ooh. Yeah, but the thing is, like with the pavilion, like it looks pretty cool, but Toy Story Land looked pretty cool in concept art as well.
Yeah, they didn't quite live up to it, did it?
No, not at all, not at all. And I think the other thing is, by the looks of it, it's got no rides. Now, maybe it will. We don't know that for sure, but there was no ride mentioned. And
No.
what is the point in having an entire pavilion that looks like a futuristic city where all you do is meet characters? Who cares?
Yeah, I don't. I was telling you in the week actually. I don't care much for like these interactive bits. It's like okay,
No.
great. It's kind of like the stuff after Spaceship Earth. You know, I don't care about it. You know, just give me a ride. Because where
No,
is
Josh,
this?
exactly. Josh says it doesn't look like it has rides.
Yeah,
I mean,
I mean,
I mean,
what?
we know
Mm,
based on that pavilion there is room for a ride there, but I can't see. I mean, Disney are getting pretty lazy with this kind of stuff. I feel like, yeah. So he says, Josh says, I feel like it'd be Disney Quest 2.0. I think you're probably right, Josh. To be honest, Dan and I were talking. I don't know when was it. Yesterday, maybe. Must have been. You were saying, Dan, that it was you got like a Spaceship Earth vibe from it, as in after Spaceship Earth, where you
yeah,
go on all those like crappy experiences. And
yeah,
I think Josh, you've nailed it there. I have a feeling it's going to be Disney Quest 2.0 as well. And while it looks cool, I don't really see the need to have it in Epcot at all when they could have just put a couple of rides into that pavilion.
yeah. I mean, do you think? Because obviously, I can't. I was trying to think earlier whether Spaceship Earth, the changes, was that rumored or was that announced? It was like rumored at one point to be
They've,
closing for like quite a long time, wasn't it?
they've not announced it yet.
Yeah. So I wondered if could they ditch all the stuff after Spaceship Earth and basically shift it all over to this new pavilion, um, and just get rid of all of that post-ride experience for Spaceship Earth potentially.
Yeah, yeah. Simon says taking inspiration from Aventura VR game room. Yeah, I do get the feeling that Disney are falling a bit behind on this stuff when Epcot should be, in my opinion, the very forefront of theme park tech. I think if the concept art translates and the pavilion ends up looking like that, then amazing. Like I'm sure there's going to be some cool stuff in there, but other than going to see it to see what it looks like for the first time, if it's
Yeah.
only character meet and greets, I can't see myself ever going back in there ever again. Um,
No, I know what you
I
mean.
mean, if I was Disney, I'd be putting in a ride. I'd also be putting in a Figment meet and greet, but it wouldn't be going in there. It would be going in the Imagination Pavilion.
Hmm.
But like, hey, let's meet Ralph and those characters in the Imagination Pavilion because that makes sense.
Yeah, perfectly placed, right?
And let's not invest in a Figment animatronic because no Disney fan wants to meet Figment.
Despite them selling a truck ton of merchandise.
Oh man, they're really missing a trick on that Figment meet and greet. I don't understand why it's not happened. They've got the technology.
I mean, it's kind of nice that they're doing something with this pavilion because what is normally in there? Obviously you've got
It,
the You got the food and wine, like what's it called? What did you call it?
Festival Centre.
That's the one. Yeah. I mean,
What's
what
going to
else
happen
is?
with the Festival Centre? Where am I going to get my branded merch? Where am I going to get my mimosas from now? Also,
Somewhere else.
it's a place where you can get key lime pie for the festival as well.
This
Those
is
of you
terrible
that,
news for you. Terrible, terrible news.
yeah, those of you that know and listen in the past realize how much I love key lime pie. I know all the great key lime pie spots in Walt Disney World and Universal. And what am I going to do without this one?
You're gonna have your tattoo changed, aren't you, on your back with all the locations?
My
You know, they
my
don't
life
think of these
tattoo.
things when they change things like that.
Man, if I knew that 100% those locations were not going to change in my lifetime, that is a back tattoo worth getting.
Donna's just like, oh, really fancy some key lime pie. You just like pull up your top. Where do you want to go?
Excuse me, sir. Can you tell me where I can find some key lime? Key lime? Did you mention key lime? There you are. Have a look, take a look at my back.
I mean, it could work. Just saying.
Oh, it would
Just
work.
saying. It's in there.
It would work.
Yeah.
I'd be flashing my back several times a day.
I mean, nobody wants to see that, really, do they?
Nobody wants to see that. No, literally nobody wants to see that. So yeah, I think it's exciting. The Epcot stuff is exciting in some respects and worrying in others. I think the show that's replacing Illuminations, that's going to be including Disney characters, it
Which one?
really
You
concerns me.
talked about the permanent one or the interim one?
The permanent one, the interim one, sounds amazing. Like a celebration of Epcot music, sounds awesome. I think when I see that in October, I may well end up creaming my pants.
It doesn't surprise me, really.
Oh, you know how much I love Epcot.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I mean, it's
I
basically...
really like Epcot.
it's basically just moist as soon as you go in.
Exactly, I'm moist throughout the day. Although I am betraying it a little bit tonight.
How so? Oh...
Hey, I like Universal as well.
Not angry, Ryan. Just disappointed.
Yeah, I couldn't find my Food and Wine Festival T-shirt in time.
How do you not have it like a pride of place? You know, food and wine, that's your thing.
Well, it's a bit of a weird T-shirt to wear, kind of like just out of work, because people like see a load of check boxes on your back with different countries, and they're like,
Oh,
"Oh,
right, yeah.
have you been to those countries?" And you turn around and you'll be like, Food and Wine Festival."
And they're just like,
See,
what?
well, yeah, exactly. You're like, who cares about going to the countries? I've been to Epcot. Don't
You're
need
just
to
like,
go there.
yes, I've been to all of them, been to Epcot.
Yeah, obviously I've been to them. Simon says he's got that T-shirt in red. Yes, solid T-shirt. Josh has said, I'll tell you what, Josh, you're breaking up the agenda a little bit here. But Josh has said, thoughts on the new coaster for Jurassic? Good question.
Unannounced one.
The unannounced one that's definitely happening.
Oh, yeah.
Classic
The one that they've
Universal.
submitted plans for.
Yeah.
And they've already got the construction walls up for.
Yeah. So I was reading some more about this yesterday, and apparently there's strong rumors that it's going to be obviously Jurassic World based, but going to be set around raptors. And
Okay.
unless I see several animatronic raptors, I don't care. Like, but for me, unless you've got animatronics involved, what is the point in theming a roller coaster to an IP?
Yeah, I mean it's very difficult to theme a roller coaster. Or they almost they want to try and tell a story these days, don't they? With a roller coaster, you think I don't really get it.
Rock and Roller Coaster does it well.
Does it? I suppose it.
Yeah, because you're trying
I
to make
suppose it
it
does to a degree. Yeah, I'll give you
the
that.
show, and like as you're going through, you're hitting the freeway, all that kind of jizzle. You know, it's done well for like a 80s, well, was it 90s ride?
But it's quite a loose theme, really, isn't it? You're just going past a load of signs.
Oh yeah, totally. If you see it with the lights on, which I was watching a video of it yesterday, it looks absolute bollocks. But I think doing a coaster on Jurassic Park is interesting. I think you've got to have some animatronics. If it was me, I'd be putting in one hell of a big T Rex and several raptors that you pass through that almost bite your face off.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose it's difficult to do with raptors because they're not that big, are they? And if you're going
No,
at quite a speed, then
I hope they don't
you.
do the thing that SeaWorld does, where they just turn the coaster into like the train looks slightly like the animal that it's based on. So it's like, oh, but
Yeah.
you are the Mako shark, and it's just
Oh.
like, yeah,
And
but you just made it blue, haven't you?
then you are a raptor. It's like, okay, yeah, great. Looks a
Yeah,
bit shit, doesn't it?
yeah, exactly. They give you little hats with like raptor eyes on them that you have to wear, and you're just like, give me your best raptor noise. Away you
Yeah.
go. And we
Oh,
both.
yay.
It's going to be a really cringy Chris Pratt video to introduce it as well.
Yeah, it's bound to be.
Yeah, let's hope we get a Chris Pratt animatronic. That'd be great, wouldn't
I
it?
mean, to be fair, he would just do it. He would just go there himself.
Just pay him to stand there all day. I mean, yeah. Guardians 3 is cancelled. Jurassic World 3, nobody wants to see. Lego Movie
But
3. I mean, he can sit there recording the lines while he's just on the coaster, can't he?
yeah, what else is he doing apart from his was it Chevrolet adverts?
That's what he's doing now.
I think so. I
Amazing.
saw something. He was advertising a Chevrolet truck. I think it was Chevrolet.
Brilliant. Of course he was.
Yeah.
Simon, is Mako your favourite coaster? Is that what you're saying? Leave my favourite coaster. Which coaster is your favourite? Do tell, because we want to insult me some more. I'm only joking. I'm only joking.
With a slight edge of seriousness.
Yeah, slight, only slight. So yeah, I don't know. Like, I think with the Jurassic coaster, it could be good. I'm sure it will be. I'm sure the coaster itself will be fantastic, but I'm not convinced that Universal could pull off a strong story for a coaster like that. However, we may get proved wrong with our next item on the agenda.
You're talking really slowly then.
That's because I'm typing it as I speak.
Are you typing the subject in to
Yeah,
change the?
because I didn't prepare. You see, this is our first show. This is our first show, so I haven't tested all the features. Oh, cool. Simon says that Mako is his favorite coaster. It's a great coaster, to be fair. Like, I'll give you that, but it is quite terribly themed. Like, it's literally like it looks like a bit like a shark, and it's blue, so that will be fine. Granted, I mean, you can't really put real Mako sharks. You can't be sitting next to a well, it's SeaWorld, so actually they probably would put a Mako shark next to you as you ride and hope that it doesn't die by the end. But who knows?
Well, they can get
So
both.
I'm not calling Dan Hagrid here. I'm talking about the brand new Harry Potter coaster, which is opening on June the 15th, 13th even, and it's
Yeah.
called. It's a ridiculously long name. Hagrid's Magical Creatures Motorbike Adventure, or HMCMA for those that like your little acronyms.
Oh no, that's not going to be a new acronym, is it?
I can't even say the full thing, let alone try to think of the. I'm just going to call it Hagrid. Let's go
I,
ride Hagrid.
oh dear. um, I mean, it's we don't know any of the storyline of the ride, but do you reckon they just slipped in magical creatures to have some sort of very small link to Fantastic Beasts?
No, I think this will be set because Hagrid doesn't go to school until after, presuming that franchise finishes.
No, no, but you know, obviously the Fantastic Beasts films are there's more of them coming out. Harry Potter, the main Harry Potter franchise, is done really.
Yeah, yeah. Simon says, "What a name that is! Whoever came up with that needs shooting." Yeah, they need the killing curse cast on them. That's for sure.
I mean, we've seen some pretty atrocious ride names, haven't we?
But that is something else, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'll say it again in full. Hagrid's Magical Creatures Motorbike Adventure. The magical creatures is in smaller letters, so presuming they want you to call it Hagrid's Motorbike Adventure.
Right. Okay.
Which, I mean, I'm not being funny, but I don't really want to be getting on a bike with anyone that looks like a very large, beardy homeless man in a trench coat. It's the last thing I want to do, if I'm honest.
Yeah, it sounds a bit dodged, doesn't it, when you think of it like that? But it's Hagrid. It's fine. It's fine.
Hagrid. I mean, obviously, Hagrid is lovely. He is a lovely character. I'm a huge fan of the franchise, mostly the books, but I'm looking forward to this, and I think this will be good. I have a feeling we're going to see some animatronics as well.
Yeah,
Even
wasn't there talk of Fluffy
making an appearance? Giant Fluffy.
Yeah. So that could be an animatronic. So obviously we had the animatronic Kong, didn't we?
Yeah, imagine like narrowly missing Fluffy as he's trying to bite at you when you're on a coaster. That would be absolutely incredible.
I think the Whomping Willow is kind of an animatronic sort of thing, isn't it? In the I can never remember the name of that. Forbidden
Journey. Yeah. I don't understand what part of that journey is forbidden. I mean, I suppose because Dumbledore has allowed Muggles into the castle, right? So we're not forbidden. Right. We've been specially allowed in. I suppose we've skipped the history of magic class and got on a enchanted. What do they call it? Enchanted benches. I'm guessing that's not really allowed.
I think you're reading a little bit too much into it, to be fair.
Well, no, come on. Why is it called Forbidden Journey? What's forbidden about it?
I mean,
if anything, I'm getting unnecessarily attacked by magical creatures. I don't understand. I mean, there's nothing that I've done wrong. I've been invited into a lovely castle, and all that happens
by an
old man who looks suspiciously like Michael Gambon. Simon says all you will hear in Hogsmeade later is Hogsmeade later this year will be just rode Hagrid. It was great. I'll tell you what you will hear, Simon. That you will be hearing that, Simon, and that will be me in Hogsmeade saying that after drinking about 5 pints.
Let's just hope that they're comfortable seats, because otherwise you can say, "Oh, I just rode Hagrid, but a bit sore."
Oh, that Hagrid gets right up there. It does.
Oh, really gets you.
Oh, right in the Chamber of Secrets.
Oh, I mean, but we did, when the aerial photos came out for this, 2 months ago, you could see it was
going to be Hagrid.
Yeah, you could see the bike shape, couldn't you?
Yeah, so we kind of all knew this was coming, but it's cool to get it finally confirmed. It's cool to finally have an opening date.
Yeah,
I think this will be a great coaster.
By that date.
Yeah, I think understandably, because you're going just before it opens.
I'm there. My last few days are at the beginning of May. I can't remember what date it is I leave, but so it's about 5 weeks out. So I was hoping it might have been opened. I mean, it was a bit of a stretch, but at the very least, I was kind of hoping they might be doing soft openings. But I'm not sure about 5 weeks before. It's probably unlikely.
But I mean, you know that they open mines like pretty much every June. So is that not kind of on you?
No, Ryan, it's not. It's not.
They know who I am.
They know
be opening it for me.
I bought my tickets. What the hell?
What's going on?
Mm.
Yeah, so I'm really looking forward to having a good and proper go on Hagrid later this year.
Proper ride. You're going to really, really go to town on Hagrid.
Yeah, and then I'm going to go to Hollywood Studios and write some ass. It's going to be a real give and take this year in Orlando.
Yeah. I mean, what do you think of?
Take one on Hagrid, and then give one on us.
I mean, what do you think of having? You obviously got Hulk, big coaster.
Pun City, exactly, Simon.
Yeah. Hulk, big coaster, Hagrid's magical ride, we'll call it, and potentially the Jurassic Park one, the unannounced one. 3 big coasters in Islands Adventure. That's pretty exciting.
It is very exciting. I think Islands has always been, for me, I've always preferred Islands, I think, to Universal.
Right.
I just think it's probably the Marvel stuff from when I was a kid that I got most excited with. Then Harry Potter, but it's still got Zeus and it's still got the Lost Continent, which is I think the Lost Continent really is quite possibly the worst land to exist in Orlando at this point in time.
Including the one that contains E.T.
Exactly, including the one that it contains ET. I think I don't understand what it's doing there, and it's interesting because I'm kind of on Diz After Dark and Universal After Dark, as you guys know now, and there's still people on that show that really like the Lost Continent, and I can't get my head around it because the restaurant won an award back in like 2004. And is no longer relevant. Poseidon's Fury is one of the worst experiences. I've been on better experiences in this country, and that's saying something. I think I'd rather go to Butlins than go on Poseidon's Fury. And we all
talk about STIs.
We all know what happened on this week's podcast talking about Butlins. There was blood on the walls and lifeguards with STIs. Welcome to Butlins.
Do you reckon the two are related?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
Some kind of blood-stained sexual incident at Butlins. Nick says Legoland.
I saw that. I don't know what the comment was.
I think he might be talking about terrible lands. The tunnel at the end is great. Nothing about Lost Continent is great, Nick. I'm sorry, but the whole thing needs to be demolished and made way for a Fantastic Beasts area.
Yeah, that would be good.
Because imagine that though, right? You start in the 1920s/30s in Fantastic Beasts, you work your way through the franchise, and then you end up in almost modern time Harry Potter. It makes sense. Get rid of it. Let's put in some Fantastic Beasts stuff. Sorry, Josh, we're not ruining Butlins. It's always been crap. We're just bringing light. We're just shedding some light to it.
Oh, I don't know. Did my screen freeze there?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it was my 20% battery warning.
Uh-oh.
The worrying thing is I was on 40% when we started.
We've got limited time here, guys.
Yeah.
Limited time.
At some point, it just cut off.
We are, I think, really excited by the Hagrid coaster. I can't believe Universal is investing in a brand new park when they have terrible lands that they could be clearing up first.
Yeah, I don't understand that. And the same kind of goes for Jurassic World, or Jurassic Park, Jurassic World, the ride. Like they're adding new rides into that neck of the woods, and they've still got other lands, whole lands that need an overhaul.
Well, Lost Continent links the two, doesn't it? Does it link the two?
No,
no, it's the other side, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. Because you've got Harry Potter, Jurassic Park, then King Kong, and that whole section is great. You don't need to necessarily add anything to that. You need to sort out the lands around that section. Because even Toon Lagoon, I want to say it is called.
Yeah.
Even that's a bit dodgy. I mean, I'll get rid of the other two first, but it's not a strong land.
No, I think that's the thing with islands. It's the lands that they've got that do well are amazing.
Yeah.
But there are ones that are just terrible. So we're going to take any questions that you guys have in a sec. But the last thing on the agenda for us is flying through the sky, which by that we mean this is going to be great for people watching on YouTube later. I don't know what the hell does that mean. We're talking about. I know. I just made it up on the fly. We're talking about the gondolas at Disney World. and
Yeah.
they're in full testing now. They're looking quite speedy, aren't they?
Yeah, fairly nippy, aren't they? I suppose they got to move you around pretty quickly before you boil.
I mean,
The
just
lack
wait
of
till.
aircon.
Well, yeah, this is it. No, they're going as fast as they can so they can like get some natural air into the cabins.
Yeah, yeah. They're going to put
But
little air holes in the glass so
yeah,
that
you
as
just
it
see them
goes up,
whistling the whole time.
people like with their mouths up against the little holes.
Yeah, it's just like I can't breathe. I'm having a magical time. That cough was not for dramatic effect. I screwed my voice doing that voice.
maybe you have to pay extra for aircon. Maybe that's what it is.
Oh, probably.
Yeah, additional
Just
extra.
can't wait till someone gets trapped in one. I hope that I do because actually I think I'll lose a couple of stone being trapped in one of those for a couple of minutes.
And I mean, you might be able to earn a bit of money in the lawsuit that you were trapped in a glass box.
Yeah, not being able to breathe.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be interesting to see how fast these things go when you get some of these 30 stone Americans sat on one of them.
You just imagine the wire just like dipping way down and then coming back up.
Just going at like a mile an hour, just like
Yeah.
it's really slowly. But
Maybe I
presuming
wonder if
there's,
presumably there's like a weight limit on each car. It's just like a lift, you would have thought.
you would have thought so, yeah. I'm sorry, sir. There's only room for 5 people on this. Yeah, but it's just me. Yeah, but is it? Is it though?
Lose a limb and come back.
Well, go to Alton Towers. That could happen.
Oh, they'll sort you out.
Well, I'm going to Alton Towers later this year, so I hope that doesn't happen.
I'm sure it's fine. Sure it's fine.
But they look pretty cool. I still don't really see the point of them at Disney World.
It
They seem like
seemed like the most practical transportation system. I mean, it's kind of like what Josh says. You know, when one of them goes wrong,
you're screwed. Yeah.
yeah, the entire thing is going to have to stop. So it
I mean,
doesn't seem
I
very
would have just.
practical.
I think like obviously it's probably better for the environment than the bus system, but realistically, how much is it going to alleviate the bus system? It's probably not really. And
You would have thought they could just introduce like electric buses, and then
yeah,
just introduce more of them, because this must
yeah.
have cost a fair amount to do.
And we still not got a new monorail system, which still pisses me off.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can try them later this year at Alton Towers site when it's a good show. So unless there are any questions from you guys, if there are, let us know within the next couple of minutes because we will be ending our first live show very shortly. So if there are any questions, partly because Dan's battery is about to die,
It could happen at any time.
it could be any second now. It's on the way out any second now. So unless there's any more questions from you guys, thank you very much for joining us on our first live show. There are some teething issues. Now, I know I was looking at my phone a little bit. The lighting in this room is not great. We didn't quite prepare the agenda as well as I would like to have done.
Yes, how all these issues are on your side at the moment.
Yeah, but you just sit there and had to put a link into your phone and join. I set up the entire thing.
I mean, come on, Ryan. I think you're underselling what I have to do here.
All you had to do is get your phone charged and you didn't bloody do
it. I have 40%. What more do you want?
100!
Demanding.
So thank you very much for watching, guys. And as I said, this is going to be a weekly show. We are very much looking to keep this going. This week's been great because there's actually been quite a lot of news going on. But you never know what's going to happen. What are you laughing at?
As Simon's comment. There's a question from Josh as well.
Oh, okay. Great show. Keep them coming. Stop your dirty mind. Sorry, I can't help it. I was born with it.
And I know that all too well. You can't stop.
Yeah. No. Honestly, this is me reining it in. I mean, Simon, you've listened to The Customer Is Always Weird. That's me not reining it in. So, oh, thanks for the nice comments, guys. We're definitely going to keep this going. We're going to fix the teething issues. Also going to upload these videos hopefully to YouTube. So if for one reason or other you can't join us on a live basis on a weekly basis, obviously you all have lives unlike us. Now you can obviously watch it on Facebook, but YouTube's often easier for people, so we're going to try and upload them there. Question from Josh. Would you like to see the Wreck-It Ralph VR attraction go into the Play Pavilion or Tomorrowland? Play Pavilion, absolutely. I think it fits better into the Play Pavilion. I mean, the Play Pavilion already looks like it comes from Ralph Wreck the Internet. So I think it makes, if it went in there, I think that land goes from me not being that interested in it to going probably to a 6 or 7 in terms of my interest out of 10. So I think that would be an amazing fit for that area of the park.
Something in there, don't they? Anything.
Yeah, I think it does. And actually, a VR attraction wouldn't be that sizable to put in place there.
Yeah, because it's a reasonably sized pavilion dome, isn't it? Really?
Yeah. I used to have Body Wars. Body Wars.
I don't really remember that. That's when did that close?
Oh, it's great. Oh, it was more recent than you think.
Right, okay.
But I can't remember the exact year. Wow, that is loud typing. You should have let me just do
it. 2007 it closed. So
there you go.
Years ago.
Not that long ago, really.
Yeah, I don't remember that well.
I do remember riding it within the last kind of 12 years.
I mean, I must have ridden it. Because it opened in 1989. So, why is there a picture of Star Tours?
It's very similar to Star Tours.
Oh, is it? Okay. It looks like Star Tours.
Yeah, it's basically Star Tours, but inside someone's body.
Right. Okay.
It's great. Oh,
it looks identical. The ride vehicle looks absolutely identical.
Oh, it does. It is exactly the same. Yeah.
This just reminds me of the episode of Family Guy. Is it Family Guy? Where
I don't know what's in your head.
Where Stewie is like the sperm, and he's in his ship.
It's kind of like that, yeah.
Or also like the Rick and Morty episodes where they shrink themselves down and go to the hobo guy.
Oh yeah, and then he ends up getting super big and floating across the planet, yeah. And then they end up blowing him up, don't they?
Yes.
Covering the world in blood or something, yeah.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
What could go wrong?
And on that bloody note, thanks very much for watching the first live show, and keep following us on Facebook. We're on Twitter as well. The podcast isn't going anywhere. That's still happening every single Monday. That's not going anywhere anytime soon. This is a new show that's coming in addition to the podcast, and we'll just be trying to stick to news and general bants. And
that's spelled with a Z.
Bants.
Oh dear.
That's my
Down
gangster.
with the kids, Ryan. Down with the kids.
Just because we don't really talk about news on the podcast anymore, because they kind of get dated a little bit, and like a little live video is a nice way to kind of talk about that, just to show you guys that we are still hip. We still know these things that are happening, and mostly. And also it gives us a chance to talk to you guys as well, because we don't get that feedback all the time on the podcast, whereas this is a great way to just speak to you guys, answer your questions, and they don't have to be theme park related. You can ask us random questions within reason, obviously. I'm trying to keep it as clean as possible in terms of swearing, so that I can upload it for family friendly viewing for YouTube. It doesn't have to be. I don't care that much.
Not that concerned.
It happens. I'm not editing it so that I'm beeping stuff out. So yeah, I'll say it now. If we start making millions on YouTube, I'll beep it. I'll bloody well beep it. But that's not going to happen.
No,
so
you've got a bit of time.
Yeah, I think we're fine. Thanks very much for watching, and we'll see you at some point next weekend. We'll try and keep it kind of semi-regular in terms of times, but we'll keep you all guys updated as to a time next week. And yeah, Simon, next time, fire as many questions over as you want. And thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.
You're trying to work out
You're
how to end it now, aren't you?
still going. I pressed end broadcast. It's like, yeah, it's not ending.
Still
Okay,
says
now
live.
now it's definitely going. So see.